pretrial hearings are underway right now for Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing former United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
The judge will make crucial decisions such as what evidence the jury can actually see. Joining us now is former federal prosecutor Neama Rahmani. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Of course, Jamie, thanks for having me.
So what exactly happens at this pretrial hearing? And can you talk about the importance of it? I was hearing things, the judge does get to decide kind of some big evidence here.
Oh, there's huge evidentiary issues we're dealing with. The first is the search of Mangione's backpack in Pennsylvania. And the defense is arguing that because the prosecution and law enforcement didn't have a warrant, that search was unlawful. And we're talking about items seized from the backpack, that 3D ghost gun, the silencer, and that notebook. People are calling it his manifesto. If that gets tossed, then that's a huge win for the defense. I don't think it will, because it was a valid arrest. And the law is pretty clear that once someone's arrested, their inventory, which includes the backpack, can be searched, and anything within their wingspan. So certainly that backpack was within that area that can be searched by law enforcement pursuant to an arrest. The next argument is that some of the statements that Mangione made were unconstitutionally obtained because they didn't read him his Miranda rights until about 15 or 20 minutes after the initial encounter.
Interesting. Okay, there's definitely a lot for the judge to consider here. Another thing is whether Mangione should be unshackled and allowed to wear street clothing. Talk about the importance of that in a trial.
Sheba, that's very important, and we've seen it time and time again. It can be Sean Diddy Combs, can be Luigi Mangione. That orange prison jumpsuit, it's really prejudicial, right? Jurors walk into that courtroom and they think, well, here's someone who's guilty. That's why defense attorneys, they like to put their clients in civilian attire, not just any civilian attire, right? They love those sweater vests, neutral colors, to make their clients seem like any ordinary Joe, not someone that belongs in prison, and certainly not someone that should be convicted.
I know, but is he somewhat different here? I feel like, you go online, even with what he's accused of, people are in love with him, talking about how handsome he is. Is it a little bit different with a defendant like this?
Oh, Jamie, it's very different. I've never seen a criminal defendant like this in my 25 years of doing this. I mean, he is someone who, we've all seen the video, right, of him shooting Brian Thompson allegedly in broad daylight in Manhattan, and he has overwhelming public support. There are people who love him. Free Luigi is one of the most trending hashtags on social media, and maybe because he's good looking, he comes from a rich family, he's smart, by all accounts, he has a lot of fans. So I'm not saying that's going to carry the day. There's plenty of evidence in this case, but this is the type of case that if I were prosecuting, I would be very concerned about jury nullification. So that means you have stealth jurors that get on the panel that decide they want to quit no matter what because they like this guy. And when I say overwhelming support, I'm not saying more than 50% support, but even 10, 20% support, that is enough to hang a panel. You just need 1 out of 12 jurors, or 8%.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So what are you predicting here? It sounds like you think some of this evidence will be allowed, but overall, what do you think for Mangione's fate?
Shiva, I think the evidence will come in, and it's pretty strong. So what was found on him, I think, is very damning. That notebook, that manifesto in particular, that really sets forth his motive. That 9mm gun that was printed, that seems to be the murder weapon. Obviously, there's video surveillance we've seen. There's supposedly DNA on a water bottle, an electronic bike that was tracked. So I think there's going to be strong evidence in this case. Again, I think the real risk for the prosecution during the guilt phase is jury nullification. And then the penalty phase, of course, we know in the federal case, the feds are seeking the death penalty. They got to get 12 out of 12, and it's hard to get unanimous consent on any issue, especially the death penalty. So I think in that case, there's the risk, at least, even if they get a guilty verdict, that the jurors can't agree to put him on death row, in which case he'd spend the rest of his life in prison.
Okay, well, a lot to watch here.
Absolutely.
Neama, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Of course, Jamie. Thanks, Shiva.